Welcome to your LANTITE preparation program. In this lesson, we'll cover ratios to give you the refresher that will help you prepare for exam day. Starting with understanding that a ratio indicates the proportion of one element relative to another. We can create a visual to represent this, such as showing that in this illustration, there are 4 pink squares to 1 orange square. Speaking of representation, let's keep in mind that ratios can be shown in several different ways, which you can see here. Moreover, on exam day, you might be asked to demonstrate your ability to scale a ratio up or down. Notice here how two proportions stay the same. Notice that the trick with ratios is to always multiply or divide the numbers by the same value. In this case, multiplying the first number by 2 as well as multiplying the second number by the same in order to scale up, or, on the other hand, dividing both sides by 2 to scale down. You're doing great so far. In order to check our understanding, let's move to a sample question. Consider a paint mixture that requires 5 parts of blue paint and 3 parts of white paint to create a specific shade. If you need to prepare a larger batch of this paint mixture and want to triple the quantities, how many parts of blue and white paint would you use? What would the new ratio be? Pause the video. Have a look at answer options and try to select the best response. Then push play to learn the correct answer. Ready? Great. To maintain the same ratio while increasing the quantity, we multiply each part of the original ratio by the same number. Here, tripling the original quantities, 5 parts blue and 3 parts white, involves multiplying both by 3. Thus, 5 times 3 equals 15 parts of blue and 3 times 3 equals 9 parts of white, keeping the ratio at 5 to 3. Which ensures the shade of the paint remains unchanged. Excellent job. Let's move to our next part, which states that a ratio can also show a part compared to a whole lot. The best way to check your understanding is through practice. Pause the video here and complete the blanks. Then push play to check your responses. Great, let's check. The ratio of pencils to notebooks is 4 to 6. Moving on, the ratio of notebooks to pencils is 6 to 4. Third, the ratio of pencils to total items is 4 to 10. And last, the ratio of notebooks to total items is 6 to 10. Did you identify the correct solutions? Excellent. You're really learning to master ratios. Before we end this lesson, let's walk through one more problem similar to what you could receive on test day. Starting with the background information. Lucas is an aspiring basketball player and is curious about his physical proportions compared to those of his coach. He measured his arm span and height, as well as those of his coach. Pause the video to understand the numbers in the table to the right. Great. Now, read the 3 tasks on the left. Pause the video here and try your best to solve each. When you're ready, push play and we'll go over each answer. Great. For task number 1, we need to calculate Lucas's arm span to height ratio and provide the simplified fraction. To do so, we'll want to identify the numbers we need to use. In this case, that's Lucas's arm span at 150 centimeters and his height at 160 centimeters. Next, we'll work with the ratio calculation by dividing the arm span by the height, which is 150 over 160. Then we'll simplify the fraction by finding the greatest common divisor, which is 10. Another way of seeing this is that we can simply eliminate the zeros at the end of each number, and thus we'll end up with our simplified fraction of 15 over 16. Is that what you got to? Great. Task number 2 asks us to calculate the coach's arm span to height ratio and provide the simplified fraction. Let's start by identifying the correct information to use. In this case, it's the coach's arm span at 180 centimeters and the coach's height at 190 centimeters. As we did with Lucas' task, we'll complete the ratio calculation for the coach by dividing the arm span by the height. placing 180 over 190 and simplifying that fraction to 18 over 19. You're doing great. Let's complete this last problem. Task 3 asks us to compare the two ratios. Are they the same, or is there a difference? What does this say about Lucas's physical proportions compared to his coaches in the context of basketball? In comparing the two ratios, we can see that both ratios are very close to 1, indicating that both individuals have proportional arm spans relative to their heights. Furthermore, comparing the numerical values, Lucas's ratio 15 over 16 is approximately 0.9375, which is slightly lower than his coaches, which are 18 over 19, or approximately 0.9474, implying that the coach's arm span is more proportionate to his height compared to Lucas. Want more practice? Make passing LANTITE easy. Just log into our full test prep at LANTITEprep.com and take the ratios quiz to make sure you are totally ready for test day. Thank you for joining this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.